The only reason you find your emotions overwhelming is because you've normalized suppressing them and denying them and rejecting them and othering it, othering whatever emotion it is from yourself. So you've narrowed your bandwidth for what you're able to handle and process and perceive. And it's not your fault. I feel like everyone to some extent is told to be reasonable or to not feel a certain way so that other people are happy, or that they'll be considered as crazy or unstable if they feel a certain way. And essentially the people in our environment have said what's okay to feel and what isn't okay based on how it will make other people feel. And so we are taught that our emotions aren't safe, not even to ourselves. And that's made an inner critic within us which prevents us from doing and feeling certain things that is necessary for us to evolve as people and to grow our capacity to understand ourselves and others. And so it's pretty tragic because it's a cycle that perpetuates itself. The more you do it, the more you continue to do it, and the better you get at it. And the next thing you know, these emotions, they control you and they become overwhelming, even though you've supposedly done all the right things to be in control of your emotions. But suppressing emotions is not controlling them. Controlling them is allowing yourself to feel the way that you do, being present with yourself while you handle those emotions, and understanding why you feel them so as to have a sense of detachment from them that doesn't consume you and overwhelm you because you're resisting it. In my last video, I talked about resisting the flow of things. When you resist the flow of your own emotions, you create a resistance. You start bottling things up, and you create a pushback, because when you're suppressing your emotions, they are not just disappearing into thin air. They still exist. They exist within you, and you begin to hold these feelings in different parts of your body, and they hold their place, and they stay inside you, and they just stay in your body, and they feel unwanted, and they affect you subconsciously. They affect your moods, they affect your understanding of things. You don't understand things at a deeper level because you're not willing to feel your emotions through and learn something about why you feel the way you do, or have the thoughts you do, or why something made you feel a certain way. So the next time you feel something, just be present with yourself and allow yourself to perceive what it is you're feeling instead of rejecting it. Try and get ahead of your inner critic that is telling you it's unsafe, it's unreasonable, it's going to be unpredictable, it's going to make so-and-so unhappy. It's not easy to do because you've had this ingrained in you for a long time. It creates this perpetual loop, and maybe a lot of us have gotten positive reinforcement for not feeling our emotions in the way we do, Think of the sibling who always listens and tries to portray themselves as the best in every situation, as opposed to the younger sibling who really just says what they need to and feels how they want to and throws the tantrum and says no. The first kid gets praised as the golden child, and the second kid is the black sheep, the scapegoat, the one who is blamed for not being good. And at first it will be overwhelming. You may even suffer panic attacks. Your body is going to resist this change when you allow yourself to start feeling your emotions again, because it's what's kept you safe. It's kept you safe, not honoring yourself. But I think the main thing is to realize that you're not in that environment anymore where people are expecting you to act a certain way. And maybe you are at work, you perceive yourself to be in a place where you can't feel your emotions because of the way you are treated at work. But I also want you to consider the fact that you have free will, and no one can take your free will away from you. They can apply pressure to your free will so as to make you act in certain ways according to the pressure that they place on you. But ultimately, the power is in your hands, and not addressing our emotions makes us susceptible to the pressure of other people and controlled by others, because we're so scared of our emotions that they'll make us do something that we don't want to do, because it will make us be perceived as disliked, which is unsafe. But that's just an illusion that maybe existed at one point for not that long, maybe at a point where you didn't understand things the way you do now. And I'm just here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to feel that way, and you don't have to let your emotions control you. And as you start allowing yourself to feel the way you do, and let yourself just witness yourself and your emotions, you will hear that inner critic. And I just want you to observe the inner critic. Don't try and shut it down, because even though it may say some mean things, it's ultimately doing so in service of you, for what it perceives is the best for you. And so it has a purpose and a reason, because everything in you has a purpose and a reason for being. But that doesn't mean that parts of us can't be misunderstood sometimes by what we've perceived in the past. And so I really recommend, it's called Wim Hof breathing, the Wim Hof breathing technique. If you search it up on YouTube, it's an 11-minute video, and basically it's a form of breath work, and it's essentially controlled hyperventilation. And what it does is it resets your vagus nerve, it cleanses your blood, and it just makes you in control of your breathing, your emotions, and aware of your body and how you are feeling in the moment. So I really recommend that as a tool. It's helped me greatly. And yeah, just remember that you have free will. No one can take that away from you. They can apply pressure, but just as they have the free will to apply that pressure on you, you have the free will to resist it, to remove yourself from those situations that make you uncomfortable, because uncomfortable can be perceived as comfort if enough time goes by. and enough reinforcement gets created. But what we're trying to do is scrap that and begin to put ourselves first. And you can't know yourself until you know your emotions and feel them. The more you suppress and deny your emotions, the more parts of you there are that don't see the light, that don't get your loving awareness. And as you start to feel more, you increase your capacity to understand more as well. And it's really a beautiful thing. And like I said in one of my last videos, you came here in this world to know everything about yourself. And I feel like I was at this stage once where I knew so much about other people, but I couldn't say the same for myself. And it was painful when I became aware of that, but I knew in my heart that this wasn't the way. And it's been 2 years now, and I'm still on the path of going forward in my own lane, in my own path, unapologetically, and not for the service of others. And I can say it's been so worth it. And at times it will seem difficult, but just keep persisting. And as you do this, you'll start to build this unbreakable bond within yourself, because what you seek from others on the outside is already within you. And I can guarantee you this was the one thing that kept me going and persisting and just really just going through it, even in the hardest times, even when I was alone, even when the light wasn't bright enough for me to see the other way out. I just knew that once I built that foundation within myself to create what I've been seeking for in others, that unlike if I were to build that with others, it would be completely indestructible. Because even when you do build something with others, there's always a chance that it could go away. Like everything outside of us is so ever changing, but everything within us stays and is always there. And so if you can cultivate that, this should be reason enough. I hope it's reason enough for you to know that whatever you build inside you stays with you, and you can depend on it, you can trust it. And that the more presence you show yourself, the more presence it shows you back. It mirrors back to you. It projects out into your world. So I really hope this video helped someone, and I hope that you really start to slowly allow yourself to feel your vast sea of emotions that you have, because it is a gift and we're blessed to have it. Bye.